أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Okay, episode 2. So today I want to speak about friendship. And I have a lot to say about friendship. But before I start, I just want to make a disclaimer that this is a work in process. I'm learning things as I go along, and that's just life. So yeah, friendship. I think sisterhood, friendship has been something that's had a bad rep. And people are starting to glamorize friendships again, talking about being a girl's girl and all of that kind of stuff, which is great. But me personally, I feel like I'm still struggling with this a lot. For multiple reasons. Deep down within me, I feel like maybe I have some sort of, some neurodivergency kind of thing, because I just feel like I'm super friendly, and the way people react to me sometimes makes me feel like I'm doing too much. But at the same time, people call me super chilled and stuff, to the point where some people feel like I don't like them. And I'm really trying to develop sisterhood as I get older, because it's really important. It's important, obviously, to spend time with people. I feel like it's just inhumane not to have any friends. I don't know if that's so harsh. But I just, honestly, at this moment in time, I don't want to be as extreme to say that I don't have any friends. I do. But I have one friend who I really, really love, but we're not that close. I feel like I'm in the process of developing some good friendships. But it goes without saying, I've had a trail of bottom tier friendships. The friends that I've had, oh my days. I feel like I'm mentally past it. I've healed from it. I've reflected on it. And a lot of it was from me not being able to say no to people. A lot of the people I was friends with, they were the kind of people that you would meet and you'll be like, You'll be like, But I'll still be friends with them because I didn't know how to say no. So they'll try to be friends with someone else, and the other person, someone else with a brain, will say no. But they'll try to be friends with me, and I'll be like, yeah. And I ended up living with 2 of them. Anyways, I feel like one of the problems with friendships that I faced is, starting with it, initiating it. I don't know, I feel like for me, yeah, I hate forcing things. I feel like it doesn't make sense. But when you don't force things at the beginning, I feel like you just won't make friends. So that's number one. The problem number one is just the start. But I feel like if you want to make a friend without having to force it, then you just have to meet as many people as possible until you finally meet someone that you don't have to force it with. Number 2 is when you are friends, this is funny. It's not funny at all. But from my experience, one thing I've learned is that not all friends last forever. And sometimes when you were friends, the friendship banged. Even if you were friends for 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, whatever, the friendship bangs when you're friends. But I feel like number 2 is accepting that some friendships come to an end. That's hard to accept, but it's the truth. You can't be friends for life with everyone. That's just the truth, and it's painful. But yeah, right now I know that there's one particular friend that I met at work that I'm going to have to cut ties, because she's been a little bit, well, I think she's always been a little bit crazy, but I'm clocking it now. Number 3, twofold. How to deal with certain situations. I feel like right now, I'm learning that even when the friendship is good, it still takes effort to maintain. Be it calling them, even if they're not calling you, be it meeting up with them, all of that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard. It's draining. Not draining, but it's just hard to like spend time with people like that, even when you love them. And just finding like things to do. I feel like as a Muslim, one thing I found hard was doing friendship things that were not haram. Like, I think of stereotypical things that friends do with each other. They go out to drink, they go out to the club, and then what's left? Not much. But nowadays, like online, I'm seeing bare stuff. I'm seeing people like doing like flower arrangement, picnics, walks, and all of that, which is great. And I am joining those kind of stuff. But yeah, even when you do have a good friendship, it still takes energy. It takes creativity, I feel like, to just find things that you can do to continue to hone your friendship. And even speaking, I was so scared of speaking to people, which is kind of warranted as a Muslim, because like, I don't want to backbite. That's another thing that friendships end up being the root of: backbiting, gossiping in a bad way. So yeah, even in a good friendship, even when both of you are like loving and kind and genuinely like each other and all of that kind of stuff, and you want to continue the friendship, it takes energy. It still takes a strategy somewhat to kind of like, patting it out and see it through. But on the other side, when we have friendships where it's a thing where, like, it's not working out. And this is something that I've had to learn the hard way as well, man. But sometimes friendships just don't work out. Maybe even at the beginning, like, you had a good vibe and then it just died out. Or maybe you had a good vibe, but actually you realise after time that it's not a good person for you. And this is something that I've learned. It's not something to be ashamed of. Like, I used to get really irritated when maybe I'll meet someone and I'll think they're cool and stuff, or they'll present themselves as good. Because there's some people in this world that they know they know they ain't that. They know they're not that girl. They know they're not that girl. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I more mean it as some people are very, very malicious. Some people are very, very insecure, and they've had a habit of like being vindictive, being controlling. And they know if they present themselves as themselves, they won't make any friends. So what they do is they go out of their way to be very, very friendly, almost like love bombing, but in a friendship way. Very, very friendly, very, very like open, very, very, everything you can think of, they'll do it. And so you become friends with them, thinking, oh my gosh, like, this person's so sweet and lovely and everything. You become friends with them, and then maybe after 2 months you realize, is this not the same friend that was... is this not the same friend that was so sweet to me? Is this not the same friend that was... I don't know, just my guy, like... And you start noticing, is this person now competing with me? Is this person... Yeah, it's painful, man. It's painful. It's painful. Sometimes some people aren't even malicious like that. Sometimes people just change. Maybe you're friends with someone and they're thriving, and then as the friendship progresses, they're not thriving anymore. And then they start moving mad. Someone say that the madness was always with them. But you get my drift. There's some friendships where you start the friendship, everything's nice and cool and everything, and then just after time, you'll just be realizing this person is not really what I want. Like, right now, I met this lovely... When I met her, she seemed... To be fair, when I met her, I think the first vibe I got of her was that she was very quiet. And she seemed very, like, not sure of herself, like, very... I don't know what to say. Very childlike. But when I got to know her, I kind of ignored that. I shouldn't have done that. Kind of got to know her a bit better, and I realised we had so much in common. And yeah, like, we kind of... I just felt like we liked each other. So I started being really open with her. Then no long after that, that's when I started to realise she was competing with me. Like, I'll say something like maybe, oh, like, you know, I'm trying to lose weight. And then she'll be like, oh, yeah, I want to lose weight too. Like, I'm trying to lose weight. Or I'll say something like, there was one, oh, yeah. Don't want to break that one out too much. But, actually, maybe I should. But we were talking about, like, money. Let's just say that. I don't know why I was speaking about money. That's another thing. Like, you can't speak about these personal things with someone, even if you feel the friendship is good. You need to allow there to be longevity before you start speaking about intricate things like money, family, relationships. I don't care how good vibe it is. You do not speak about these kind of things on day 1, day 2, month 1, month 2. You've got to sit down and settle and let the friendship marinate organically without these things before you start sharing intricate things. Anyways, I think I was speaking about something related to money. And then I realised, like, she was just having the vibe was just weird. Like, I could just sense something was off. And she went ahead and did something that made me realise that she was competing with me. And yeah, her tone changed and stuff. But yeah, like, I'm learning, and I just read this book about, like, setting boundaries. And yeah, I'm going to set a boundary with her to be like, I'm not going to lie, I think you're being weird. But yeah, so that's painful. But on the other flip side as well, like, there was this other girl that I wouldn't say I was trying to be friends with, but I met her somewhere at, like, what can I call it, a function. It wasn't a party, guys, please. I'm not a party girl, but it was a function. It was like a networking event, and yeah, like, we had a great conversation at first. I didn't really necessarily want to be her friend. She was like, oh my gosh, I like you. Can I get your Instagram? Basically, I don't really use Instagram like that. So my Instagram was not downloaded on my phone. And I was like, oh, okay, let me get your name. Let me get your name, and then I'll find you on Instagram. So I got her name, but I don't know what it was, but something just went off. I think maybe it was the fact I didn't have Instagram, or maybe, I don't know. But very shortly after, she was like, I just felt like the vibe was off. Like, she didn't really want to be friends or something. But even after that, she was even like, oh, let's go out again, because basically this function had like a after function, and I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna go, which I'm proud of, because that's me setting boundaries. And then she, what happened next? Yeah, and then after that, like, I tried to message her, and then she was just being cold, and I was just like, girl, like, I'm not gonna lie, she was being cold. She was slightly rude, but she actually wasn't that rude. It just hurt because it felt like rejection. It was rejection. She did reject me, and it was painful. But this is life, and this is literally the things you have to go through to make friends. You know, sometimes you've got to like meet bare people, and then you have to be like, this vibe ain't it. But sometimes, like, you'll meet people, maybe the vibe will be it for you, but it won't be for them. And you've got to take rejection. And it's not, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. You don't need to sit there and think about, what did I do? It just means they don't like you. That's all it means. They don't like you, and I'm starting to realise that's important to accept. Some people are just not going to like you. Some people are just not going to like you, and that's absolutely fine. And when you realise that, because the funny thing is that I'm not used to that, because I used to be a people pleaser, so everyone likes me. Everyone likes me, so feeling rejection was like, but it's actually very normal. If you've never felt rejection, something is wrong. You're probably being fake. But yeah, I think it's important to acknowledge that in the quest for friendship, sometimes you're going to be the person rejecting people. That's absolutely fine. Doesn't make you a bad person. And sometimes you're going to be the rejectee. and it's absolutely fine. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's just part of life. It's actually very important because that means you're actually picking and you're deciding and you're accepting as well. You don't need to be a bad friend. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop there. I have a lot of things to say about friendships, especially as a Muslim. And I've got stories for days. But that is all I want to say today. And that is what Allah wants me to Allah has allowed me to say today. Well, in this episode, I might make like a part 2, part 3. But I just feel like friendships are super important. They are really important. And people always say, oh my gosh, no one speaks about friendships. I'm speaking about it now. And I would love to know your opinions. I don't even know if I want to put this on YouTube. I probably will. I would love to know people's opinions and hear what people have to say about friendships. And if they can relate to what I'm saying. If I've dropped some gems, people are sitting down thinking, girl, this is wisdom. People are thinking, girl, you should have kept this to yourself. I probably will keep posting anyways. But yeah, thank you for listening. And I will be back soon.